Hello, my name is Lisa and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be creating these journal cards using some very simple items, yet they come out looking just beautiful. And they're easy to make in mass make fashion, where you can make a whole bunch of bases and backgrounds and have them just ready to go. So if you'd like to find out how I did this and make some of your own, please stay tuned and we'll get started. Okay. To make these journal cards, some very easy steps. First, you're going to start with some stamps. Now, I'm going to show you some of the ones that I use. Now, these are not going to be all of them, and they might be hard to see because they're on white, but they're basic shapes. Some ziggly lines. I got a film strip, some squares, some hash marks. I have stitches, plain stitches, and I also have the, oh, look, I have one hiding here. I also have these I'm going to use that I found that are like little notepads. This is my inspiration of how I thought of doing these. Is they have like, these have like borders and outlines. So I thought, well, why don't I make my own with borders and outlines to have some blank ones. So I have gone through and made some already, and I got some blank ones. So this is what we're going to aim for. You can see hashtags, stitches, wavy lines, one of the tags, but it leaves a spot in the center where you can put your focal points, which is basically how I did these. There's a outside, and then the focal points go in the center, outside focal points, and that. So, all right, so go through your stamps, find some that are really generic-y, plain, just lines, stuff like that. This was a corner one. Ones that you don't use a lot. You'd be amazed at what you can find. I just kept finding more and more as I went through there. So, all right, we're going to get them out of the way. And we're also going to use, I end up using VersaFine Clair Morning Mist, which is a lighter gray, because I didn't want it to be really bold. I wanted it to be fairly neutral as a background. Now, I probably could have done a neutral brown, like a vintage photo, or like brushed corduroy or something, but I thought the gray is pretty neutral, and it will go with all the colors as I'm making for my journal color series and pretty much everything else. So I have two different versions, so it might be hard to tell. This one went on, I ink dyed it to make it, maybe I can get some blank ones here. And I got one here. All right, so I took white paper, and I'm going to show you how I cut it down. And for these, I used vintage photo to kind of grunge it up a little, and these were just plain white. But if you don't want to ink them, we always could use just different solid color patterns. So I got a couple different papers here. I've got a lighter off-white, more creamier, and then the white. So let me get my ink pads out, or ink stamps out of the way, and let me get my cutter so we can get started. Now, I did start with 12 by 12s on these, and you could probably do 8.5 by 11s, anything you have. Start with pre-made cut cards. That would work too, but I have a bunch of 12 by 12s laying around, so I figured let's go for it. So I don't have any of this. I have a bunch of whites cut, so I'm going to cut this medium one. So I did it two different ways. The first way was I did 4-inch cards. These are 4 and these are 3. Both are by 6, because again, 12 by 12, easy to divide is 6. Also easy to divide is doing 4-inch or 3-inch. So let's do these. Let's do 3-inch. All right, so I'm going to cut them down. 3-inch, 3-inch, and 3-inch. There we go. And I hope your day is going well. I'm sitting out looking at a bright snow-covered day, reflecting in. Not too much, just like an inch or so, but enough to make the streets a little slippery. I had to run out to the post office this morning, so. All right, and then we're going to cut this down to 6, and I find it easier just to use my little choppy guy here. I can do 2 at a time and cut them down to 6. Now again, you can make these any size you want, but I find that 3x6 and 4x6 make good size cards. Now if I wanted to, I was thinking about making pockets too, so if I wanted to make pockets, I'd probably cut these down to 5 to start. I could cut them down afterwards, like take one of these to make into a pocket and cut it down, but then I would kind of lose some of the stuff I stamped already. So keep that in mind before you cut them, what you think you might end up using them for. If you saw my previous video that I had where I'm doing the altered journal, here, my altered Reader's Digest book, there's going to be a lot of pages to tuck tags in. So I needed a bunch of tags. So hence I thought I should probably make these. And this is something I've been thinking about doing for a while. So, okay. So we start out with the blank tags. Now, like I said, with the white ones, what I did for the full sheet of paper was I took my vintage and I just went through and did this on the whole sheet just to give it a bit of grunge. I'm not going to do the whole page here, but pretty simple just to grunge it up. You could use it any, I have old paper as another one, gives like a greenish hint, tea dye, you can take and coffee dye these for that, but yeah, any of those would work. Okay, now I'm going to take this piece here. I take one sheet of paper to lay on the bottom so I can not stamp the table too much. Put this back over, and I do have a bit of a, I was stamping a little bit earlier, it's getting kind of dry. I might take me a wet wipe and just use that to clean off the stamps in between. Wouldn't be that hard to fold it. So we're just gonna give it a little fold so I get someplace to land. And I got my blocks. All right, so let's get the stamps going. Now what I did was I put a couple of them down at once because this is a good way to mass make them because you can stamp a couple things at the same time. So let's get that out of the way. And all right, so let's bring the stamps and go from there. All right, so I have this long block and I actually have 4 sets of the stitches on here because I could go through and not have to keep adding them and taking them off here. But let's go ahead and, of course, now I gotta turn it because, whoops. We're not gonna worry too much if it's straight. We're just gonna go ahead and do that. And I'll put a little bit right there. And wipe off the end there. And we'll do a little bit right there. So just random stuff. And this one, now this is a square and I don't want to put stuff on the outsides. Snowplow. So I'm just gonna ink the corner. And do that. Fun, right? All right, let's go ahead and do another one where we ink the corner. I think the hardest part of this is making sure that I don't do that, but that's okay. End up being a focal point in the center at some point. Remembering which side I put the border on, or the ink on. And we'll do that. Okay. Now let's see. This one's always fun, and I have a whole bunch of blank go off of it a little bit. have a whole bunch of blank things, and another way to do it is just to have stuff on both sides, and you can go ahead and ink a couple. And I'm just trying to make a bit of a border here, like I said, to leave a focal point in the center when we go to do it. All right, let's get, oh, what are we gonna do next? Oh, I like these dots. These dots are always fun. And I am gonna just kind of mask that, even though I'll probably go and cover it up with something. Just build it a border. Okay. All right, what else should we add on here? I have a little circle. It was randomly found on something, but it's like my favorite stamp now, to add a little circle. I could probably use a pen end to make this. But that's cute. So you can be kind of fun, kind of artistic, fill in spots that maybe don't look so good. You want to fix something you did. Cute, right? I like it. All right, and I'll just take a little bit of the wave and see what I can add for that. Okay. All right. Well, I think I'm going to call those 3 done. Fun, right? So like I said, then you can take anything that you have, and I'm just going to grab one of my color envelopes here. All right. And then you can just take one of your pictures, one of your items, and throw that on as a focal point. Throw something else on there. And decorate it, and there you go. So some fun bases. Literally fun. Let's see what else we can get in trouble with. And everything ends up being different, no matter, you know, I think if you try to, I don't think you can make it the same either way. Oh, these can be cut into tags. You end up cutting them down to the sides. I got my samples here from before. Like this one, cut down to the sides. This one I just rounded just ever so slightly. This one I used a bigger rounder. This one was the 4x6. This is the 3x6. This is a 4x6 that I ended up making 2 tags from, and I could show that in a moment, how I did those. So let's get these out of the way, and let's make some more. All right, so the 4x6. So I have one of these. This is one of the ones that I had grunged up. And what I did on these, to make them a little bit smaller, was I took one of these to make 2 side-by-side similar things. And I think I've used them all to make some. I don't think I've done this one yet. So let's use this one. And let's try to make it a little straighter. Okay. All right, so what I did on these big ones that are 4x6 to make smaller ones is we're going to make them side by side. So I'm going to put that one there, and we'll do another one. And just so the tag is a little bit different, I'm going to put this one up a little higher. Hope I'm not glaring anybody out with those. Kind of hard to tell. I got goobers on here. Okay, let's get that off. All right, so the plan is, after I stamp these borders, is I am going to cut it in half to make the smaller tags. That's where this one came from. There's one of the tags. So it's going to be like that versus one big one. All right, so let's see what we got here. All right, so this looks like a bigger one, so I think I'm going to use a little bit smaller. For that. And I think I'm going to do the fancy edge. Yeah, cute. And of course now I have a garbage truck coming through. It's a busy day. Busy day on my cul-de-sac. All right, let's see. We haven't used that one yet. This is just like 2 lines and a dash. All right, we're going to put that up there. Okay. And you can see, like, this has 4 lines, but I only used 1 line for that. Make it, just use parts of it. All right, and I've got this circle, but I'm just going to use it for like a elliptical. Coming across there. And do have my dots here. Put a little bit of a dots on there, since there's dots in here. All right, let's do that. Okay. And I think we'll finish off with my favorite little circle. Yeah. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to cut this in half to give 2 journal cards. So this was 4 by 6, so I'm going to cut it at 3. And now you've got 2 cards. They're pretty much, actually, you could use them just like this too. Tag them, round them, add a little label, add a, little butterfly, a little flower, something like that. But they're pretty well done. Two journal cards, quick and easy. All right, so let's go ahead and do one more set, because I've got 3 of these that were pre-grunged earlier. Let's go ahead and do these. And I think we're gonna put a little film strip on this one. We haven't done those. And again, I'm not gonna do the whole film strip. I'm just gonna do like the squares and a bit of the leg coming up, just to add a little bit of something. And on that one, this one I'm gonna have it over there. And just a little bit over there. So parts, so take a look, like I said, take a look at your stamps, see if there's parts of a stamp that you'd like to use. Okay, this one's got squiggles. I'm gonna do the same kind of corner thing. And we'll squiggle that. I remember which ones I did. I don't have that halo again. And we'll squiggle that corner. And we're just gonna do a little squiggle over there. Okay. All right, so let's take some hash marks. That was a misstep, but we can always add something to its center there. Put a little hash there. Put a little hash there. Okay. All right, let's do some of these. Now I probably have a ton of more stamps that I could have used. These are the ones that I pulled out. All right, a little bit of after stamp. All right, I don't think I put any. All right, let's do some dashes. And a little bit there. And a little dash there. Okay. And a little dash there. All right. Whoops. Coming off my thing. There we go. Okay. Now, let's use some of the dots. I like the dots. Let's see. Okay. And what else? I think put a little bit of the half circle on here. Just a little bit of, I probably could find my little coffee stain ones too. That would work. Just adding a little bit of different shape to it. All right. And I think I want you to go there. So yeah, it's all about building a border so that you can put some focal points on later and just have a whole heck of a lot of stuff to play with, which is fun. And as you can see, it really does not take a lot of time to do. And you really can create your own patterns. That don't exist out there. Cute. Cute. I love it. All right, let's see. Put a couple dots on this one. All right, I love it. Love it. Don't want to lose that little guy. Okay. Well, I think we're going to call those done. All right, I think maybe we should decorate some. Let me show you some of the other ones that I made here. Get these out of the way. And ones that I played with beforehand. Like I said, don't want to lose these. Get that out of the way. All right, so I got the pile. Well, I showed you the 3 that I did originally that I've decorated already. So we got the big one, a smaller one, and a half one. We have those, and the 3 that we just decorated. So here is a bunch of other ones that I did. All right, so I have a couple that's got smudgies on it, but again, you put a focal point there, you never can tell. I got white, grungy, and another grungy. The other ones I have cut up to make smaller ones, etc. And then we've got some 3x6s. So you can see just those, I think those are the 3 we just did on camera. These are ones that I did. This one I did put some of the bigger stamps on that I had split before. So it's another option, put a focal point or something else down there at those. And then you can see the variety of stuff that we got on here. All of these. And this one is really plain and simple, but fun. All right, so now we've got the smaller ones that I cut in half. So like I said, I put the bigger no stamps on there using these guys. So that was probably like that. Stamp the 2 sides and then cut it in half. And that was probably like that. Or I cut those down the center. This one, postcard. I'm not going to put the rest together. You kind of get the idea. Checklist. And a postcard one. These got the grungy versions. Have a beautiful day. Important memos. So yeah, I was busy playing with those. All right, so I'm going to clean this up and we'll try to decorate a few. All right, I am back. I've selected 3 different cards to create. I got a bigger one of my taller skinny ones, and then ones that I pre-did the note on. I did pull out some pink distress ink to distress the outsides instead of with the like vintage photo. I did that on these cards. I used some blue ink for them. I decided to do pink because my next journals are going to be pink. I've done a couple blue, so I figured, let's throw some pinks in the mix here. So I pulled out a few things. I've got my trusty washi tape and some stamps and some numbers. So yeah, we can go from there. And yeah, I think I will throw a little bit of vintage photo on the sides of these though, because they were just digitals with the white, just to make them a little less white on the edge. But that's it. Okay. All right, so this one I figured if I got that covers up most of the problem. And I see that I probably should gotta rip this edge. The photo has a bit of a torn edge in it, or the digital anyway, but oh yeah, that's much better. All right, and I've got this kind of stamp thing. All right, I'm gonna get some washi tape down there, and I think this one deserves, I can't get my finger out, some flowers. All right, do I want around the corners first? I think I could put this washi tape on and then around the corners. All right, put a little bit of washi tape there. All right, I'm gonna use my big bad rounder, but use the 14. I don't want to cut too much of the stamping off the edge. Okay, and I think I'm gonna throw some ink on there now. I do have the stamp pad, but it seems just as easy to do it this way than changing out the stamp pads. Okay, what was that? Worn lipstick, which is perfect for the little lady. Okay, so we're gonna put this down first. Get my glue. Need to unwind it first. That's helpful. All right, so we're gonna put that. I'm gonna move that over a bit. There we go. So I hope you give this idea a try, making your own background cards randomly with just some borders. You see that they're fun to make for sure. And such a variety of stuff, right? All right, we'll put that down there and we'll call this one done. I do have some pink tickets too that I could add to other ones. And you still see the hints of the stamping coming out. Cute. All right, so for this one, all right, I think I'm gonna use my smaller corner rounder. Let's do the medium. Okay, get that. And let's use the picked raspberry on this one. I don't know why, I just feel like it. Okay. All right, so this was one of the really simple backgrounds. All right, so I think got these books that have pink papers in there. I was hoping I had a taller one. I don't know if there was any. Ooh, that could be fun. All right, just to get a little bit of a taller background in there. Let's go through here. Yeah, let's do that. And then maybe put a stamp down there. Yeah, let's do that. So even though this has just a little bit of background stamped on there, it just gives enough to give a border around it. Right? Cute. Okay, so you're going to go there. Okay. And you going to go up there. Okay, little pink stamp or sticker, and let's see if we can find a stamp for the bottom here. Pinks are the first page. Yeah, those are reds. And I think I want some sort of beige-ish word number to go across here just to tone that down a little bit. And you're a little big. All right, let's go with all right, let's go with, oops, I ripped that edge right off. I don't think I can re-put that together. Nope, it's goner. It's a goner. Put a little ink on there just to make it look less ripped. There we go. Yeah, cute. I like it. Okay, all right, so for this last one, I think I'm gonna slant corner this just to give it a bit of a tag shape. And we'll do a tiny one on the bottom. All right, now we got the recycle bin coming through. Boy, you're getting the whole shebang of my busy neighborhood today. All right, I picked two of them. I wasn't sure which one to go. I think I might like this one a little bit better. And then maybe cross a number across the bottom. All right, so let's go with, we're gonna do some picked raspberry with this. Give it a little bit of pizzazz. And I think I want to put a little sort of ish, neutral-ish washi on here. Scissors. Okay, I'm gonna re-tie this up. It has a bit of a pink hue to it, even though it's kind of beige. I like it. We're going to glue that right there. And seems like we should put something right there. Maybe butterfly or flower. Let's see if I got. I don't think I want such. I don't want a big flower like that. I think I kind of do. Yeah, I think I kind of do. All right. So we're gonna have it hang off a little bit. I'll trim the leaf off, and we're gonna, should have glued this on after, tuck it behind, but we're just gonna cut it right there. Bit of a bump in there, but that's okay. And we'll cut the leaf off a little bit. Yeah, it's pretty. I think I'm going to put a little bit of a vintage tape here. And I think I'm going to cut it a little thinner. Put that right there. Cut that in half. If it's any smaller, I'm not going to really handle it though. Put that right there. Put that one right there. Okay. Yeah, I like that one. Okay. Well, those were fun to make. I like making those. Let me get this few things out of the way here that I didn't use back into the pink envelope. I think we're just gonna throw that right there. Wasn't quite happy with how that tape ended, and now it's better. Okay, well those are cute. I like those. We've got some more blank cards I can stamp. But these are going to take a minute to dry, but we'll get those to go flat in a minute. But so we ended up with those cards and these cards, all from using simple 12 by 12 pieces of cardstock, a few stamps, and some ephemera. I love it. All right, well that is going to be it for me today. I hope you enjoyed that video. Hope that gives you a little bit of inspiration to maybe make some background tags of your own. Go ahead and mass make some, because it doesn't take long to make a whole bunch. All right, that's it for me today. Thanks so much for stopping by, and I hope you all have a wonderful and creative day. Bye now.